All right, Rip City Drive, Chad doing here. Always a pleasure to have new people in studio. And today I'm very happy to welcome a gentleman in who really has introduced me to something that has changed my life. I was, dealing with a knee injury back during the summertime. And this is like early on in the part of my golf season where I'm out trying to get as many rounds in as possible. I've got tournaments to play. And as you know, I care about movement. I can't control how long I live, but I do want the days that I'm here on the planet to be able I want to be able to move so I can enjoy life. And so I was dealing with this knee injury, and it was hurting. And I was having issues getting through a round of golf without having to limp and not having the flexibility and movement in my knee that I was accustomed to. I didn't know what was going on. But then I was introduced to the power of red light by this gentleman here who's with me now, and I want to talk about it. The name of the company is RedVive, and that's VIVE, and the website is redvivehealth.org. I'm very happy to welcome Matt Troy in studio on the Rip City Drive. Matt, what's going on, my friend?
Right. Thanks for having me, Chad.
Well, first of all, thank you. You took the time to talk to me about your product and the power of red light because I had heard about it and I'd read about it because I'm always looking for natural ways to try and deal with things that have ailed me over the years because I believe in that. But I had not really been exposed to red light. So let me ask you this: you gave me a RedVive red light unit. I started using it. You told me how to use it. And after a few weeks, I started to notice change. And before you know it, I started to feel better. And my knee, which was bothering me greatly, the pain started to subside and I got the movement back and I was able to play a full round of golf with no problem. So what was going on? Like, what was going on inside of my body for the change with the red light?
Just inflammation. I mean, your knee was inflamed. It does so many things, but to break it down really at a high level, your body was deficient in certain wavelengths of light that you're sitting in this studio a long time, a lot of time, and you're not outside. And so because our bodies are biologically wired to be outside, 85% of the time for thousands of years, we were outside for 85% of the time. Now we're in our cars, listening to you and sitting in the house. And we're only, all the studies have shown we're only outdoors 15% of the time.
Only 15?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're deficient in a lot of wavelengths of light. And so our bodies are inflamed, not just your knee, but the rest of your body. And you don't build enough of melatonin. Light helps create melatonin. Melatonin is what helps you sleep.
Yes.
And I don't know if you also notice your sleep when you actually, I think you said you sleep great anyway, but for me personally, sleep was a big problem, big thing for me. So, when we started this, I knew I was deficient in light and I knew that I was inflamed and I use it. If I dose it properly, I get a good night's sleep.
All right, let's talk about that for a second, Matt, because I love your story. Red light therapy is something you truly believe in. So tell us about your story and how you became interested in red light therapy and what led you to RedVive Health. So give me the background on you because you from my understanding, like you've been dealing with pain or were dealing with pain. Red light changed your life, and now you want to spread the word so other people can have the same experience you did to have better life, better movement, everything.
Yeah. It started, I was a wrestler growing up, and you're a golfer. I wish I liked golf. I wish I was good at golf because I got into mixed martial arts, which is, I don't know if you guys seen the cage fighting, the combat sports. It's as brutal a sport as you can find out there. And I've just injured almost every part of my body. I've had 2 herniations in my neck, had my neck fused, blown ACL, 4 shoulder surgeries, broken hands, just the list goes on and on. I don't advise if your parents listening out there, when they go from wrestling, have them go into golf or tennis or something, maybe in their later years. But as I beat my body up, I was just always in pain and I wasn't able to sleep because I was in pain. And I found a local doctor, a regenerative medicine doctor, and he would do stem cells and PRP on me. And he said, man, if you do this red light and near infrared, which is what our product is, it's both near infrared and red. We can talk about that in a minute. But those combination of wavelengths of light will help build collagen for your knees and take away the inflammation and fill your cells with pure energy to recover. And there were so many extra benefits that I found from it, but just and the list goes on. But
what was your thought process when he's telling you about red light? Had you heard about it before? Like, what was your initial thought when the doc was telling you about
thought it was kind of snake oil. Like he said, there was all these benefits and all these things. I was like, it's just light. Are there any side effects? Is what I was kind of thinking. But he said there's no side effects. It's just wavelengths of light. It's a class 2, which is class 2 medical device, which is completely safe. Said, all right, I'll give it a shot. Just like you, Chad, right? You kind of thought it was snake oil too when we came to you with this. I mean,
yeah, because I had never heard of, really, I didn't think about it on the level that you explained it. I'd heard about red light, but a lot of things you hear about, you're like, does that really work?
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what? If I can try it and I'm not popping a pill and it's going to be safer on my body and I'm not exposing myself to something that could be damaging, then I'll give it a shot. So, yeah, I had kind of the same thought process you did.
I mean, what I noticed was, because I remember I hadn't started this company yet, I didn't know how to use it properly. It's medicine, so you dose it like medicine. You have to do it a certain amount. There's diminishing returns if you do it too long. If you're not the proper distance away from your body, like the light gets exponentially less powerful. The panel that you use has to have the right power. So I basically was using this incorrectly, and so I would figure out I had to do a lot of research and get the right thing, the right power, and the right panel, and to dose it the right amount of time and the right times of the day, all these things. And I was overwhelmed, but it did. I finally got it, and it really helped me. So
you noticed changes after how long?
So I noticed, well, immediately I could tell that I was sleeping better right out of the gate. I mean, so that was the first thing. And that's what all of we've sold thousands of these. And we talk to afterwards to make sure people all use it properly. They all say sleep is the first thing.
Yeah.
But for you, like your knee, it doesn't have, like if you have, it depends on how inflamed you are. Some people will notice right away my shoulder or my knee or whatever feels better, but you have to use it consistently for a couple of weeks.
But what about for you? When did you start to notice changes, aside from the sleep with your body, with the damage you had done from the mixed martial arts?
Aside from the sleep, it took a few weeks, and then I started to realize that, gosh, hey, my shoulder, I would wake up and my shoulder wouldn't be in pain anymore. I mean, I would start, my shoulders would be more loose when I was sparring. You have to have they say loose shoulders throw boulders. My shoulders were loose, and I felt great. It probably took a couple, 2 to 3 weeks, and then you'll notice significant difference.
So what do you recall in your follow-up conversation after using the red light with the doctor? You're like, hey, I think this is working, or like, how did you describe it to him?
Yeah, I said, man, I don't think this is hocus pocus anymore. I mean, I definitely believe in it, and he would make sure I was using it properly. But I used it for, I don't know, probably 8 or 9 years, and got super into the science is photobiomodulation. So photobiomodulation is the science of light and how it interacts with your body, and there's just so much more to it. And so that's why basically I said, hey, man, we need to create something like a company that actually takes the science, and let's design a panel that follows the science specifically and then show people actually how to use it.
Okay, so basically what happened for you is you started using red light therapy. You started to notice significant changes, benefits for your body as you were healing and getting stronger and continuing with your sparring. And then because of the impact it was having on you, the positive impact, so you started it kind of started that journey of where you got more into the science and the details, which is what led you to, hey, how can we take this therapy and get it out to more people?
Yeah. So we actually designed something that I actually would loan this panel out to people suffering. So like, Chad, I met you years later, but I actually had like 4 or 5 friends that would complain about something. I'd say, hey, use this. I want to see how it works for you. All of them, every single one.
So you're sharing your red light panel.
I shared it,
with people you know.
Yep, and they wouldn't give it back.
That's good.
I can't get it back. So I'm like, this is crazy. Nobody wants to give it back. So we actually, and what was one big thing for me is like I wanted to make sure that everybody that ever bought a panel, because you can go online, there's other stuff out there, but they don't have the power and nobody shows how to use it and all these, and they're sort of like gimmicks. Like some of the stuff is good for your skin and your dermis, like you see the masks and these little wraps, but they don't have power. So I wanted.
So what you did then is from my understanding, is like you brought in medical experts to help you develop the RedVive panel.
I actually sent the regenerative medicine doctor that helped heal my body with this over 10 years with stem cells and PRP. When we started this, I said, I need to partner with a doctor that knows the photobiomodulation, but I want to send you to meet all the scientists. So we sent him to London, and there's it's the PBM, Photobiomodulation Conference in London every year, where all the top light scientists meet. And that's where we fully designed this product and this panel. And so, yeah, sent him there. He met with them, came back. RedVive became real, and we hadn't looked back since. And now we've got we're endorsed by hundreds of doctors across the country now.
Okay, that's perfect. So RedVive. So give us the basic then. So you guys are different than everybody else, but what is the key difference? What separates RedVive from all the other red light therapy panels that are available?
I mean, they're all different out there, but one thing that we wanted to make sure was that we followed the science. So you have to have a certain amount of irradiance, which is the power that actually pushes the light into the tissue. And to get actually into your hips and things, you need to be able to get 2 inches deep into the tissue. Your knee, Chad, I mean, if you were just putting one of those little cheap wraps that you can, some of them are on Amazon, you wouldn't feel those results. Why is that? Because it's got to get into the tissue, into the cells, and it doesn't. A lot of the light doesn't go past the dermis or the epidermis, the very very tip, just the skin. So we got to get into the cell. So ours, to answer your question, is we have the power, and then there's a certain beam angle. So beam angle meaning 45 degrees, 35, whatever the science says, it's 35 to 45 is the beam angle for it to actually hit and get to the tissue. And without overwhelming people, you just feel it once you have those right wavelengths and the right power and beam angle.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I can definitely, feel it over the course of time as I continue to go through consistent therapy sessions. And the best part is I was doing, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening. Very easy to get in front of the light and use it, and it doesn't take up too much time. So that's beautiful. Now, in addition to the beam angle, without nerding out completely, what are the 4 wavelengths that are critical?
Okay, 635, 670, 810, and 850. Those, the ones in the 800 range are near infrared. So those are on the end of the visible spectrum. You can't see them because, just like ultraviolet rays, where people get burned, right? When you have ultraviolet rays, you get burned, but you can't see them. Just because you can't see the light, it's really strong and powerful. Those are the more powerful. The 810 and 850 get deep into the tissue, but it helps with the combination of the 4, the 635 and 670, to do all the regenerative things that help build collagen, take out that inflammation from your knee, and then the beam angle and then the power all go together to be able to penetrate and actually get in there and fill the mitochondria.
That's perfect. We're talking with Matt Troy, who's in studio here on the Rip City Drive. He is with RedVive, that's VIVE, and red light therapy. And I'll tell you what, it really changed my life with what it did for my knee. And I'm excited about the future with different ways I can utilize the red light therapy to be able to change my life. And, I want the same thing that Matt wants. I want everyone to have better movement. You can check him out online at RedVive Health. RedViveHealth.org. Now, so in terms of uses, I had knee inflammation, but what are the most common ailments that people have, and what are some different ways that people can use red light therapy to help them? What are the most common issues that people have when they reach out to you?
What's crazy is we have actually we have more sleep doctors, so we're endorsed by hundreds of doctors. The business model wasn't direct to consumer. And actually, Chad, you're one of the first times we're actually bringing this direct to consumer. Just so you know, just because we're Portland, local in Portland, and we have the relationship with iHeart, we decided, hey, we need to get this out there. But it's just been with doctors, and the doctors that we found took to this the most were sleep doctors. And actually, the sleep doctors kind of segued into we have dentists, because a lot of people have TMJ, and when they sleep at night, they clench their jaws. So we probably have more TMJ docs than anybody. And we've literally had not one. We offer 60-day money-back guarantees. Nobody's returned these because
sleep help is number one.
Number one. Sleep.
Okay, I want people to raise their hand right now if you've had issues sleeping at night. Lack of sleep or lack of quality deep sleep is a big-time problem across the country.
Yeah.
Why? Because we have stress. We have a lot of things going on. We're working too much, all these different things that pop in. And the problem is when we lie down, we're not getting that deep sleep to where our body can get the proper rest it needs to recuperate, and our body can heal.
Yeah, I actually I got an Aura ring because I wanted to see. Chad, I remember how skeptical you were when we brought this, okay? I was just like you, and I actually bought an Aura ring because I wanted to see, am I actually really sleeping deeper or whatever? And my ring actually measures REM and deep sleep. Some of you guys have wristbands or watches and stuff that measure your sleep.
What is it telling you?
It tells me, like, so sometimes if I travel, if I forget it, I have a little small travel one I'll travel with, but if I don't actually do before I go to bed, if I don't do 15 minutes of my red light, and sometimes I'll just test it to see, I get half in the REM and deep sleep. REM and deep sleep is like the most important type, part of your sleep. And it's always, when I look at my app and I download it, it's always half. And so I've noticed that, so it's like my sleeping pill before I go to bed, but I shouldn't say sleeping pill but it is medicine. You're dosing something before you go to bed, but there's no side effects. Like sleeping pills make you groggy, all of these different melatonin and stuff that you buy. You can create your own melatonin. Your brain is able to do that. There's a chemical reaction that takes place when the light hits your blood-brain barrier, and your brain will actually produce that.
That's perfect. So sleep is number one.
Yep.
After sleep, what are the issues that are plaguing people that they're seeking red light therapy for?
Yeah. So the rest is regenerative medicine doctors. And of course it started out with my regenerative medicine doctor because from fighting, my body was beat up. So naturally he knew a bunch of regenerative medicine doctors. And of course they do PRP, which is platelet rich plasma. I don't know if anybody knows about this. It's where they take your blood and they inject it into areas that don't get enough blood flow.
Yeah, they spin it and they inject it.
They spin it. They get all the platelets or the concentrated stuff that helps heal. Well, the reason why you don't heal certain areas of your body is the main reason is because of blood flow.
Yeah.
You need blood flow to whatever area. Blood is what heals, right? So your knee, for example, at your age, not that you're old, we're the same. We're the same.
I'm getting older.
Now, how old are you?
50.
Okay, I'm 49.
Older than you.
Yeah, I know you're a year older than me, so I can call you old. No.
Yes.
But
you can.
no, we're both pushing. I mean, I'm pushing 50. I mean, you and I both look physically fit, but inside the mitochondria of our cells are 50 years old, or mine's 49.
Yeah, so the red light exposure to red light will help with blood flow.
Yeah. So the blood flow is the number one thing, and that's how you reduce the inflammation.
The way it's always been explained to me very simply is that blood flow is important because the better blood flow you have, the more nutrients that are being spread out across the body, which is what allows for healing.
Right. And so vasodilation, and again, vasodilation is a fancy word for saying your veins open up, which is how you get more blood, right?
Yes.
And it's like, you'll feel it. You can actually feel your veins. You can feel the blood flow when you get underneath this thing. And so like areas like your labrum and your shoulder and your knee, your hip has a labrum, those things don't heal because they don't get blood flow.
Yeah.
So I literally, as long as you're within 6 to 12 inches of this device, this thing is powerful, 172 megawatts per centimeter squared, which is a fancy way of saying it gets 2 inches deep into the tissue.
All right. So if someone wants to try out the RedVive panel, they reach out to you and you get them set up. Do you have people who can walk them through the process of how they utilize the panel? Because it's going to be a foreign concept to them when they get it. So is that something where you explain to them how to use it so you can walk them through the process so once they get the panel, they understand what's going on?
I'm so glad, Chad, that you said, I'm so glad you said that, because when you asked what's the difference, well, all I did was talk about, hey, we have the combination of wavelengths and the power and all this stuff, but the main problem that I had when I started Red Light was I had a doctor tell me about it, whatever, but I didn't know I owned a couple different panels from different companies. They just sell you a panel and walk away. That's it. The reason we started this company is we wanted every single person that bought a panel to use it properly. I mean, we have people that won't press the near NIR button. They don't know what NIR means, near infrared. Or they'll have their clothes on. It doesn't go through clothes. Or they'll be 18 inches away. You need to be 6 to 12. So we explain to everybody those. Basically, I just listed it. That's it. But we make sure that everybody knows how to use it, dose it properly, because it's medicine. Because if you do it for more than like 30 minutes a day, you'll start feeling tired because you're dosing and filling your cells with adenosine triphosphate, which is ATP, which is pure energy.
Yeah.
And if you you're full, you're full. So like if you eat too much food, you get kind of diminishing returns. You're like, oh my God,
you're too full.
I ate too much. I'm tired.
All right. So that's important to know. And, I'm just like anyone else. I'm busy and I don't have a lot of extra free time,
Yeah.
morning, evening, whatever. So what is the basic time that people need every day to be able to commit to exposing themselves to the red light?
So it's obviously different for different things you're trying to do. If you're trying to get more sleep, I would say make sure you do a little bit in the morning at sunrise or when you get up.
What is a little bit?
That's a good question. 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then 10 to 15 minutes before you go to bed. That's the best for sleep, and especially the TMJ patients.
But 30 minutes would be the maximum in terms
30
of exposure.
Yeah, 30 minutes is really, so I mean, look, it's light and it's a class 2 medical device, so it's not going to burn you. There's no ultraviolet rays, which is great. So it's class 2, it's safe. So like when I herniated the discs in my back, I was in such excruciating pain, and I cannot take pain pills. I think you mentioned too, it makes me sick. It makes me feel sick. And the only time I had relief, and there's an analgesic effect to this, was when I was laying underneath my red light panel. So I laid under it for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then I'd finally fall asleep. And that's the only way I could get myself to sleep. Now, are you really supposed to do that? Not normally, but were there any downsides? In that particular case, no.
But usually 20 to 30 minutes a day.
20 to 30 minutes a day.
What I was doing is I was getting up in the morning before I would go and start my morning routine and take a shower. I sit down in front of the red light, would have it directly on my knee primarily, 15 minutes. And then at nighttime before I go to bed, 15 minutes. And it was great because I could sit there and read while I'm in front of the red light, and boom, I go to sleep. So that's how I was doing it. So it wasn't a pain. I didn't have to go anywhere. It was right there in my bedroom next to my bed, and boom, I'm in bed and I'm able to do it. So I found it to be it's not difficult.
Yeah. No,
it doesn't take up too much time.
No, it's not. It's light, and so you can just lay underneath it. Even if you can't afford like the middle size one or the little bit bigger one that's 3 feet long, there's a smaller one, and I would say on the smaller one you can kind of move it around to different parts because that one's only like 1 foot by 9 inches.
Yeah.
And so you could just put it on your face or put it on your knee and move it around. But if you have the bigger one, you might not need to do as much time. So it depends on which size you want. But you can also call.
But you can give people insight on what size would be best for them based on what they're looking to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. And we offer 12-month financing and payment plans and things like that, so that if you need the bigger one, if you can afford it. And as you'll mention later, you get a discount for your listeners. It's pretty significant because normally we have the doctors write a prescription discount, but Chad, because of the relationship, we want to make sure that people are able to afford the one that's proper for them.
It's Matt Troy from RedViveHealth.org that is in studio right now. So walk me through this a little bit. So I do know that because it's a Class 2 medical device, the HSA and FSA can be used on the device. Is that correct?
Yeah. So, because it's registered with the FDA, when they say FDA approval, you don't approve like things that are super safe, like water. Water doesn't have an FDA approval, but it is registered. And so therefore it's HSA, health savings accounts. You can use that to purchase it.
Okay, that's perfect. Now, in addition to that, this is the best part of my mind is that 60 days, risk-free. So you can order the device, receive the device, use it, and if you are not satisfied, you can send it back within that 60 days and get a full refund.
That's right. And we actually started out, it was 30 days, and we had zero, not one return after selling hundreds. Now we're at thousands. I can count on less than one hand of how many people have actually returned it. Some of them, it was just because they thought that it would mess with their pacemaker. It won't. But we don't argue with anybody. Just, hey, if you want to return it, you'll notice if you are in like pain, like real like excruciating pain, you will notice right away. And we've had like, as long as you use it properly, instantly you will have pain relief because there is an analgesic effect to the way these wavelengths of light actually hit the nerves. When you're in pain, all that is the nerves are sending a signal to your brain saying, ouch, I'm in pain, right? So if you can dull those nerves in a healthy way, which there's no side effects, that's what like pain pills and things like that it dulls the signal that goes to the brain. Yeah. Well, this will actually change the way your brain perceives the pain on the other end. So not only are you dulling the pain, but you're from interfering with the signals. And then over time, it will reduce inflammation because you've dulled those nerves so much. So you'll notice right away. But yeah, if you go 30, 60 days, even if you hit a day over and you like, man, I just forgot, we don't want anybody to keep this thing that doesn't actually love it.
Okay, that's excellent. So the website is redvivehealth.org, and that's VIVE. So two V's, no B's. Redvivehealth.org. It's HSA and FSA approved, so you can use your health savings account to purchase the device if you want. They also have financing available up to 12 months with payments as low as $70, and you get the 60-day money-back guarantee risk-free. And because Matt is so kind, for our listeners, if you use the code RED, R-E-D, you get 15% off. Or you want to go 20?
Yeah, we're going to go 20. I just, you know what? I talked to Sonny on the way in, and I thought, hey, it's the holidays, actually. People might be getting these as gifts. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So code RED, R-E-D, and if you use that code at the website, redvivehealth.org, you will get 20% off, and again, a 60-day money-back guarantee, so it's risk-free. And all I can tell you is, in addition to what Matt said, is that I was hobbling around in the summer. My knee was bothering me, and I'm not someone that runs. I strength train. I take care of my body, so I was greatly concerned. And after, about 6 solid weeks of exposing myself, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening before bed to the red light from RedVive, it changed my life. My knee has never felt better. And I just turned 50, and it's great to have that movement back. So I just want to say thank you for introducing me to something that has been life-changing. And I'm excited about continuing to utilize the red light therapy because of the other benefits that it's going to bring to me over the course of time.
That warms my heart, man. That's the reason we started this. I mean, I was really at a point in my life, Chad, where
you were distraught.
We started this. I shouldn't say I with the doctor, and then there's another person that helped. We have 3 partners, and basically all of us are into health and fitness and health and wellness. And the purpose was to hear people like you say, just, dude, you changed my life. I can now golf 18 holes, not in pain. Like, I can now sleep through the night. Literally hundreds and hundreds of testimonies and people that are happy with it. And so that's not trying to sound like this, like some infomercial here, but it's,
you just care. You have a lot of energy for this, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do, go to redvivehealth.org, VIVE. You can get more information on the product. The phone number, easy to remember, 1-844-REDVIVE, 844-733-8483. So you have any questions, call the number, and Matt will be happy to answer any questions you have in regards to the panels. Yeah,
most likely, I answer that call, but we have others that are photobiomodulation experts that can answer those questions. Yeah, 844-REDVIVE, R-E-D. A lot of people get the V's and the B's, so V-I-V-E.
Yes, and use the code RED to get 20% off. And again, it's a 60-day risk-free money-back guarantee, so jump on it and, experience what Matt and I have and how it can change your life if you're dealing with chronic pain, so you can stop taking the pills that are poisoning your body. Give this a shot. And again, there's no risk.
Yeah.
60 days. Try it. And I guarantee you're going to be like, wow, this is something that works, and it's going to change your life. So, Matt, I appreciate you.
Thanks. And they're going to let me, I just got a text back that they'll let me do the 20% because that's like our wholesale rate up until Black Friday. And then we'll be at 15, and you'll still be able to use that code, but just make sure everybody knows.
All right, you got 20% with the code RED at redvivehealth.org up to Black Friday. After that, it'll be 15%. And again, 60 days, risk-free, money-back guarantee. Matt Troy of redvivehealth.org here in studio. Matt, I appreciate your time, and thanks for talking about this so that we can continue to spread the word of the value of red light therapy.
I appreciate you, and thank you, and look forward to continuing the journey.
All right, big thanks to Matt Troy. Check him out online, redvivehealth.org. And it's pretty easy to use. I do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, and it's got the timer on it, so it shuts off when it's done.